knows Texas well, right? He attended DeSoto High School before Texas A&M. He said it was his childhood dream to join the Cowboys. Here's more from him today.
Dreaming.
I can still play football, but, you know, I can still contribute in other ways. You know, on my Super Bowl teams, it's not just one person that gets it done. I think you can say what you want to say about my play on the field and what I got left. When it comes to being a great teammate, like if it was a Hall of Fame for that, like I'm going in the Hall of Fame first ballot. To be honest, it's not. I'm probably the best teammate that ever played in the National Football League, and I say that with all confidence in the world. My ability to get people around me to play at a level that they wouldn't normally play at, like I don't think nobody does that like me.
Well, dang, he must be a great teammate. Marcus, what?
You're in the age of talking about yourself.
Yeah, well, you said it, not me. Yeah. But do you like this signing by the Cowboys?
I love it. I love it. I think Von is one of the better teammates. If you talk to people around him that has played with him, they talk about that leadership that he brings, the fun, jovial attitude, and I think it's going to permeate throughout this locker room. You know what else I like about Dallas, and I love what Jerry did? Jerry got grown men in the building.
Yeah.
Quentin Williams goes about his business at a very high level. If you think about Von Miller and the level he's played on, he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. You think about Caleb Downs, who they drafted, very mature. People talk about how he goes about his business as well. I think this was a phenomenal signing for Dallas, and in situational parts of football, Von Miller still can win one-on-ones in the pass rush. He trained with my guy Mo Wells, who trains my son, and I know that his body is ready. He's ready to go, man. So this is a really good signing by Dallas, and maybe an unsung signing by the time the end of the season brings about.
Listen, if he trains Junior, he's
Mo the truth.
Mo knows what he's doing.
Don't give him no more airtime, though.
Oh, well, I just did. Whoops, you told me. Okay, anyway, coming up next, new addition in Atlanta.
Well, Zadarius Smith is signing with the Falcons, Laura, and it's interesting because he was in Cleveland last week, and the Browns thought they had a realistic chance to land Smith, but he opted to go to Atlanta, which has lost James Pierce to an 8-game suspension and Jalen Walker to a season-ending torn ACL. They needed help, and they got it today in the form of the 3-time Pro Bowl selection, Zadarius Smith. The Indianapolis Colts needed help at wide receiver, and Shane Steichen, the Colts head coach, reached back to a familiar face from the past. Someone he worked with the Chargers. Keenan Allen and Steichen worked together for multiple years. And now Allen is in Indianapolis with Alec Pierce still not practicing, with Josh Downs having a groin injury. Indianapolis gets some receiving help. Meanwhile, the Buffalo Bills wide receiver Keon Coleman was spotted today in a walking boot. It's not expected to be a serious injury, a sprained toe, a sprained foot, according to Cameron Wolf. They don't think he'll miss much time, but you saw him limping this weekend. He was in a walking boot today. We'll see when he can make it back. But it won't be anytime soon before we see the Saints' first-round draft pick Jordan Tyson back. He's got a hamstring injury yet again. He's expected to miss potentially a couple of months here, which could land him on injured reserve, the PUP list, whatever it may be. Either way, it looks like he will miss the first part of the season for the New Orleans Saints, and he had looked so good in camp. He had dominated during practice, looked like a difference maker, but the Saints are going to have to figure out a way to get by without him early on.
Golly, I mean, you just hate to see any injury, but Mina, this one feels particularly frustrating. How impactful is this injury for the Saints and what they had planned to do with him?
Yeah, this is brutal news. Brutal for Tyson. Of course, injury questions around him were a big topic of discussion before the NFL draft, given his own injury history. And also for the New Orleans Saints. Adam alluded to this, but I have been hearing all summer from folks who had a firsthand glimpse of him in New Orleans that he looked incredible, just so explosive, so elusive coming out of his cuts, great hands, all the qualities you saw on tape. And I think he would have been a big part of this offense. I thought he was a fantastic pairing with both Tyler Shuck because of his ability to throw over the middle of the field, intermediate throws, but also with Chris Olave. Now, take a step back, you look at the Saints receiving group, and there's not a lot of depth. Devon Vele, I think, is a great contested catch guy, but not the same role. I think the tight ends in New Orleans, Juwan Johnson, Noah Fant, Oscar Delt, might have to take on a bigger role, but Chris Olave is going to get an overwhelming target share and really have to earn that big contract extension he just got.
Hey, you mentioned the injury history for Jordan Tyson. I just want to remind people, in college, he tore his ACL, MCL, PCL on the left knee, had a broken collarbone in 2024, and then hamstring injury in 2025. So it's something that he has dealt with. We'll keep an eye on Jordan Tyson. Now, another receiver injury we've been keeping a close eye on is Malik Neighbors. Now, Neighbors was out there in 7-on-7 and 11-on-11 yesterday. He had that red no contact jersey, as you're seeing right there on your screen. He spoke after practice. He sure is excited to be back.
It's just that dog in me. It's barking a little bit, you know. It's just barking a little bit. It's just like he coming, you know. That was just a little spark. So, you know, it was just let everybody know he coming. He waking up a little bit. My soul been dead for so long, just being away from the game. So, just getting out there, having my teammates behind me, you know, kind of felt that soul come back to life out there.
All right, new leader in the clubhouse for me, for my favorite soundbite I've heard this entire offseason. That dog is barking, is ready to be back. And Jordan Renan covering the Giants for us. He joins us now. Jordan, what's the update on Neighbors after today's workout specifically?
Yeah, Laura, the vibes are much better than you guys were talking about with New Orleans when it comes to the wide receiver and the injuries. Malik Neighbors, for the second straight day, was out on that field. Actually probably looked even better than he did yesterday in his first day back to live full-speed drills. Coach John Harbaugh just said to me he handled it very well. And Malik Neighbors, now the next step is he wants him to handle contact. He's going to have to do that at some point before being able to get to a game. That's key for John Harbaugh here in the process. That's the next step for Malik Neighbors right now. And what John Harbaugh is seeing, though, is improvement from his star wide receiver. He was out there for 8 reps today. That was a slight increase from yesterday. Had 4 passes thrown in his direction. But as you said, still in that red jersey, Marcus will tell you, he caught 4 balls on those 8 plays that he was on the field. Defenders might take a little offense to that because you can't go near him. They threw it downfield. Those defenders had to pull up and back off. Can't go near Malik Neighbors. That's a rule around here with the Giants.
Man, this man's uncovered.
Yeah, you know, the quarterbacks are in bubble wrap. That's what it feels like. Yep. He's in the quarterback bubble wrap here. But, yeah, no, he's looking good. Also of note for the Giants, they did sign Najee Harris, a running back.
New on SportsCenter.
We go against our defense, which is fantastic, and it's a top defense every single day, and then now be able to go against the Texans defense, which is also a top defense in the league, go against them, be able to get some reps with the ones against the superstars on their defense, and then obviously their twos are fantastic as well. We got so much work, whether it was move the ball, first down, third down, red zone, 2-minute. There's so many situations, and I believe overall it was a positive day. There were plays that I loved and plays that I wish I had back, but in reality, that's a lie. I wish I didn't have them back because it's a growing experience, and it's practice.
That sound was incredible. McFadden, you're the Raiders reporter. You get to sit there and listen to that. I mean, Mendoza gave you the plays. He gave you all of it with that gusto that he has. Real trustworthy guy. He put up solid numbers. I'm just enamored by the sound he just gave us in the preseason debut, but he admitted there is room for improvement. We know that. He's a rookie. What are the Raiders hoping he cleans up moving forward?
Yeah, Matt. Among the areas that Mendoza needs to improve on are his timing and anticipation. Coach Clint Kubiak also wants Mendoza to focus on the details of each play, even the smallest ones. Coaches have praised Mendoza for being a tireless worker, spending late nights in the facility, going over the offensive script with his teammates, and writing down each pass play in his notebook to critique himself. With more reps, which he's expected to get on Thursday night against the Houston Texans, and the extra work that he puts in, they are confident that he will make the necessary strides.
And I'm confident that he will give you, again, great post-game sound as Mendoza. He knows coming in he's going to be the backup. It allows him to develop. You could read more of Ryan's daily training camp reported on the Raiders now on ESPN.com. Ryan, thank you. The last time we saw Texans quarterback C.J. Stroud, he had thrown 4 interceptions in a playoff game, and that's how it ended against the Patriots. Stroud's play last postseason left open some questions about his long-term status. He's eligible for an extension, but no deal has been reached. Here's Houston coach D'Amico Ryans on how Stroud performed today against the Raiders. That is also new on SportsCenter.
I thought CJ did really well today. Some really nice Really nice plays all day, really great decisions. Again, the same thing he's been doing all camp. So proud of just his competitive spirit as well. When he was out there, you start barking back and forth. Yeah, he's doing that, but he's still holding his composure and making plays as well. So I'm proud of the work that CJ did today.
Time to say hello to our Texans reporter, DJ Bieneme. And DJ, Thursday is going to be the Texans fans' first look at C.J. Stroud since his less than stellar playoff run last season that opened up a lot of the questions. So how is he coming along in training camp ahead of what is a pivotal season for him?
It may be hot in Houston, but Stroud's performance throughout training camp might be even hotter if you let Texans players and coaches tell it. And on Tuesday during joint practice, it was no different. He had big completions, multiple touchdowns in red zone, and overall, he looked efficient and productive like he always does throughout camp. When we talked to cornerback Derek Stingley a couple of weeks ago, we asked him, how's your own individual performance? And he said it's been all right, pointing that CJ's made his life harder, saying that CJ looks like the CJ that we know he can be. And then threw in, he makes some real throws back there. Coach Mika Ryans has gushed about Stroud throughout camp, saying he's been great. I talked to Stroud one-on-one last week and I asked about a pivotal 2026 season. We all know the Texans have a Super Bowl-capable roster. That's the expectations, so a lot falls on Stroud's shoulders. He said, pressure is a privilege, and I didn't wake up and forget how to play football. He also added he's excited for the challenge.
Yeah, you wonder if he can take that next step in his career. He certainly has the talent and the roster to do it. You can read more of DJ's daily training camp reporting on the Texans right now on ESPN.com.